Welcome to the Explore Real Estate Show. I am James Boslaw, your Fredericksburg area realtor and vacation rental investor. And this show is all about real estate in the Fredericksburg area, the Fawn Lake community, and the vacation rental space. I help people buy and sell homes because I believe that everyone should grow their wealth as they live in or own a home that they love. I also believe that everyone should feel confident when buying or selling a home, and confidence comes when you are well educated and informed. And that's what this show is all about. Enjoy the show. Hey, welcome to the Explore Real Estate Show, where in this episode, we are going to discuss the recently released real estate stats for the Fredericksburg area for the month of February. And we'll break it down on what that means if you're a buyer and if you're a seller. So once again, these are recently released stats. They just came out just a few days ago, and they tell us a lot about what's going on. So let's dive right into the stats. And first and foremost, we're going to take a look at the month over month stats. So we're going to compare January of 2023 to February of 2023. And when we do that, we learn three things. The first thing that we learn is that new listings are down 17%. So inventory was already low, but when you compare February to January, the new listings are down even lower by 17%. The closed sales is up 18% in February versus January of 2023. So once again, people, there's not a lot of inventory out there, and buyers are snatching up what is available. We see that the median sales price, and this is important, the median sales price in February of 2023 is even, it's the same as the median sales price in January of 2023. That sales price is $419,000. So there was no change in home values or the median sales price from January to February of 2023. And that's huge. That's extremely important for us to be mindful of. What that tells us is that home sales are no longer going up. They're not going down. We have plateaued. We're even from January to February in 2023, completely unchanged and the same at $419,000. That is significant, and it's something that we'll talk about more later on in this episode. Now what I want to do is I want to take a look at the stats, and I want to do a 12-month comparison. So we're going to take a look at February of 2022 and February of 2023, and we're going to compare the differences between that span of 12 months. And when we do that, these are the four things that we learn. The first thing that we learn is that the overall volume of sales is down by 20%. So 20% less in sales in February of 2023 than there was in February of 2022. Once again, this is something that's important for us to be mindful of. In past episodes, I made it very clear that I would definitely attribute this to the rising interest rates, which has caused buyers to slow down and things to cool off just a little bit. Now, the average sales price in February of 2023 compared to February of 2022 is actually up 0.46%. So not a lot, but there is a slight upward trend there for the average sales price if you compare things from February of 2022 to February of 2023. But it's just a little bit if you look at that 0.46% increase in average sales price. The median sales price in February of 23 versus February of 2022 is up 2.4%. So gone are those days where the sales prices are going up like crazy and things are going bonkers. What we're starting to see now is that the markets are stabilizing. The values are now kind of slowing down as far as their appreciation. And whether you look at the average sales or the median sales price over a 12-month span, what we're starting to see is that starting to level off. But here's the most interesting stat to me, and this tells a big story. Even though the sales prices are hanging in there, they're actually a little bit higher now than they were 12 months ago. The days on market for homes in 2023, in February of 2023, compared to February of 2022, is up by 74%. So if you were trying to sell a home in February of 2022, the average days on market, or DOM, was 23 days. Not bad. But if you look at the average days on market for February of 2023, that is now an average of 40 days, a 74% increase. And that is a really, really important stat. and one for us to be mindful of. What does that mean? It means that our home values are hanging in there. They're pretty steady. They're going up just a little bit, but it does take homes longer to sell. Very important to understand if you're a seller, and there's opportunity there if you are a buyer. Now, let's take a look at the stats year to date, which is taking a look at January and February combined of 2022, and then taking a look at January and February combined of 2023. When you do that, we learned that these stats validate what we already shared. The average sales price is up 3% in January and February of 2023 versus 2022. The median sales price is up by about 4%. Once again, we are at a higher sales price now than we were 12 months ago. And then our overall volume of sales is down 25%. Once again, I would attribute that to the rising interest rates, which is creating just a little bit of caution with buyers who are looking to purchase. And the days on market is up 56% as well. So that's a lot of data. That's a lot of stats. Now, what does this mean for you? What does this mean if you're a seller? What does this mean if you're a buyer? So first off, let me just say that if you are a seller, what this means is that home sale prices are no longer appreciating at record pace like they were in years past. They're starting to level out, to plateau. Maybe they're going up just a little bit, but nothing too significant. But the home values are definitely hanging in there. They're not going down despite what you might hear and read. They're definitely hanging in there, and they're solid. But you do need to understand that the days on market, the amount of time it takes to get your home under contract, is way up. It's up by about 74%, and it's taking sellers on average about 40 days to get their home under contract. Now, that does vary. I could say this from experience and being, neck deep in this market. That does vary based on the list price that you are selling your home. If you are listing it at a very, how should I say this, reasonable price, then you're more than likely than not to be much lower than 40 days to get your home under contract. But gone are the days where you list your house and it's under contract like that. Those days are no longer here. It does take some time, and you definitely need to make sure that you find a great real estate agent who is able to give you a very honest assessment of what the value of your home is and where it should be valued in order to sell it. So for buyers, what does this mean if you're a buyer? Well, what it means is you can't expect big discounts on a home that you're looking to make an offer on. There is a good chance that you're going to have to go full price or pretty close to it in order to win the offer for the home that you are interested in. So don't expect big discounts. You have to be more realistic with your outcomes in 2023, in the sense that you no longer have to waive your home inspection. You no longer have to waive the appraisal contingency. You have opportunity to maybe still be competing against other buyers, but maybe this time you're competing with 3 or 4 buyers versus 10 to 15 other buyers. So if you are a buyer, there are opportunities for you in this market, but you do have to understand, realistically speaking, that the big discounts are probably not available just yet. Home values are hanging in there. They're increasing ever so slightly. And so you have to be realistic with the offer that you are making in order to try to win that deal. And if you are a buyer and you are looking at these higher interest rates, what I'm telling all my buyers is that you marry the home, you date the mortgage. The home is something that you have to make sure that you love, that it makes sense for you and your family, but you always need to remember that these current interest rates are just temporary, and that there are opportunities for you to refinance at a much lower interest rate in the future if you find the home that you love and it makes sense right now for you and your family. So this market, in summary, is stabilizing. The values of homes are not skyrocketing up anymore. The days on market is definitely increasing. Inventory remains incredibly low at 1.1 months of supply. And so if you are a seller, that's still encouraging to know that you don't have as much competition when you're selling your home. And buyers, you don't have as much competition when you're going to buy a home. So as long as both sellers and buyers are aware of the current market conditions, you can reset your expectations, and there is definitely opportunity on both sides, both for selling and for buying. And if you have any more questions or need any expert advice on the real estate market in the local area, you can always contact me. You can find me at my website at explorewithjb.com. You can call me, email me, text me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can if you have questions on the local real estate market and what it means to buy and or sell a home in this market. I also want to remind you that if you are enjoying these episodes, please subscribe on YouTube if that's where you're watching this, or on Apple's podcast. You can follow me. That way you can always be kept up with the newest episodes when they come out. Once again, these are weekly episodes where we are going to cover topics that would include real estate in the Fredericksburg area, the Fawn Lake community, the vacation rental space, as well as other topics pertaining to real estate. So I'd love it if you subscribed or followed me, and then we will keep you up to date on the newest episodes. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Make it a great week.